Every year in early January, people come here from all over the country, chasing something simple: sunlight, a break from winter, a tradition that feels almost timeless: the Rose Bowl. But Pasadena isn't just about football and parades. It has a quieter history, one tied to painters, collectors, and a California that no longer quite exists. Pasadena has always attracted artists. Painters like Guy Rose lived and worked nearby. Today, we're going to see what's left of that world. Because if there's still paintings out there, they won't be in museums. They'll be hiding in places like this. Morning, everybody. This beautiful Saturday morning, here we are in Pasadena at the Pasadena Antique Center. This is where the hunt begins. Let's go in. Let's start our look. Wow, there's a lot here. There are so many paintings to look at, and sculpture, and furniture. Old portrait. The thing about portraits is they're very specific, so they're very difficult to sell or even appraise. Now, isn't that something? I've only been in here 2 minutes and look what I've found. All right, so let's talk about this. This is a version, a copy of what's known as the Hay Wain by the British painter John Constable. It's virtually identical to the original. And it says right here, John Constable, oil on canvas. Now the problem is the Hay Wain by John Constable is hanging in the National Gallery in London, England. And its value is roughly $100 million to $150 million US dollars. So I'm not quite sure why this is attributed to John Constable, other than I could say it's a student work. Maybe somebody was trying to emulate him. In the past, when art students were learning to paint, their masters at their atelier would require them to copy an old master and see how close they could come to it. And in doing so, they'd pick up a lot of that old master's technique. So that's what I suspect this is. It certainly isn't the original, because the original is about 5,000 miles away. Beautiful Rococo frames. Look at that frame on that mirror. Again, another portrait. This is a portrait of an artist actually making a painting. Looks Dutch school. And it's signed, but I can't read the name. Interesting piece. We may come back to that. Nice watercolor, 1898. But I'm not sure what I'm looking for today. I'll know it when I find it. There are so many paintings here. Another portrait. It seems like there's almost every kind of art here. There's modern art, there's impressionism, there's realism, there are posters, there's oils, Japanese prints. It's modern art here, framed. It seems like everybody has their own little specialty. This is a very interesting place. We've only just begun. We've just come in. I mean, I think I could spend a week here if I had one, but I don't. We'll keep looking. Usually what I like to do is look first and then decide. What we're going to focus on. There's something interesting right over there. Well, that poster on the ground, very interesting to me, because this is by a famous Canadian painter, Ken Danby, who obviously exhibited at Walter Moo's gallery in Yorkville, Toronto. People probably know Ken Danby's work at the crease with a goalie, really, in the crease. And Danby never exactly told who that goalie was, but it's suspected it was Jerry Cheevers of the Boston Bruins. Very well-known Canadian painter, but not what we're looking for today. Somebody trying to emulate, perhaps, Paul Gauguin's work, Tahiti work. It's an original. And it's signed, but I can't read it. Maybe Tahitian, because I can't read it. Nice enough, though. Anyways, let's go. There's so much stuff here. Somebody has a sense of humor because my reaction was exactly the same. It says up here, Jackson Pollock. But right underneath it says, I wish. Yeah, I'll bet you do. That's something you don't see much anymore. Back there, those mallard ducks. I believe that's by John James Audubon. It's a reproduction out of what was known as his elephant portfolio. Very big, and all the prints were like enormous, like that. But not what I'm looking for. So as you recall, in the past couple of episodes, I've been looking for California Impressionists, and there's a row of them right here. I mean, there's some very good work, all California Impressionists, all probably from that Laguna school. That one's $4,850. So this must be a listed artist. That one not so much, $850. Bill Casper, that's very nice. Those Masons, very nice. $850. But I got a couple of California Impressionists in the past 2 episodes, so as nice as they are, it's not what we're looking for. But I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for today, but I'll know when I find it. No sooner the words come out of my mouth, this is intriguing. That's very intriguing. In a display case, it looks like it's an oil on cardboard. And the reason that's intriguing to me is because there was an episode recently on another show. I don't know if I can say the name of the TV show, can I? We don't know. So I'll call it that road show about antiques. All right. And in that road show about antiques, they valued a painting that a family had that was hung behind a door for years, and finally brought this painting into the road show for antiques. And the painting turned out to be a lost Diego Rivera, worth millions. I think, not million, I think it was valued at the time $800,000 for this lost Diego Rivera, who was probably the biggest name in Mexican painting, him and his wife, Frida Kahlo. And that looks very much like the painting that was found behind the door. But it's not signed. I think it's just someone that's trying to emulate Rivera, but it's very well done. Again, it's not what I'm looking for, but I'll know when I find it. I'm just astounded by the number of artworks in this particular antique center. I mean, there must be 1,000 paintings here. That's interesting. It's interesting because it's in the style of Jerome, and I just trying to remember what style that was. There's a great Jerome of Napoleon at the Sphinx sitting in the Hearst Castle. That painting is painted in the Orientalist style. It's very much like the work of John Leon Jerome. Big painting of Napoleon at the Sphinx in the Hearst Castle collection. Very nice, but again, not quite what I'm after. Turns out that there's so much here to explore at the Pasadena Antique Center and Annex. We're forced to break this into two parts of the discovery. Come back next week for part 2, and the week after for part 3, where I'll do the valuation. Happy hunting. If you'd like to go deeper than what I share here on YouTube, visit johnsumner.com/insider. Join my email list, and I'll share upcoming projects with you and private releases before they're announced publicly. johnsumner.com/insider.